Hi everyone, my name is Kirsten and I'm an occupational therapy student at the American Stroke Foundation. Today we're going to be doing a stretching routine to help prevent or reduce spasticity. So spasticity occurs when you have stiff or tight muscles. You tend to be in kind of a flexed position on either side, and this is really common after you've had a stroke. So about 30% of stroke survivors experience some sort of spasticity, and you can experience it in different forms and different severity on upper body or lower. So today we're just going to be doing some stretches to try to prevent that at home. So before we get started, we're going to talk about some of the equipment that we're going to need for today's exercises. So first we're going to begin by sitting in a sturdy chair. We're going to use non-slip shoes, such as tennis shoes on our feet. We're going to be seated the whole time, but just to make sure that we're not slipping and sliding everywhere. So otherwise, it would be helpful to have a table nearby or something to hold on to, maybe even a wall, and then also some sort of towel. This one's a long beach towel. So a towel, a band, or a belt would be great too. So something just long enough to complete some of our stretches for today, but definitely not necessary if you don't have one. All right, so let's get started. So we're gonna begin today by just taking 5 deep breaths. We're just gonna sit comfortably, and you can close your eyes if you want. We're just gonna bring some oxygen into our body. So breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Last one, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. Nice job. Now we're just going to stretch our neck a little bit. We're just going to bring one ear to one shoulder. Get a nice stretch in your neck. And now come to center and we'll do the other side. So bring your opposite ear to your opposite shoulder and feel a nice stretch in the side of your neck. Come to center. Now we're going to look up. Make sure to breathe, and now we're going to look down. All right, come to center, and now we're going to do some shoulder rolls forward. So we're just going to get some blood moving to our arms and our shoulders. Shoulder rolls forward, and now we're going to do shoulder rolls backwards. Great. Now let's get started with our first stretch to help prevent and reduce spasticity. Begin by sitting close to a table. If you don't have a table available, that's completely fine. You could use your leg or maybe a board, something kind of sturdy and hard, but today I'm going to use a table. So our first stretch is going to be for our hands. So we tend to be, when we have spasticity, in kind of this flexed position, and our fingers tend to be closed and tight. So we're just going to work on stretching those out. So it's completely up to you how you do this. I'm just going to show you one way. So one way to do this is to hang your arm and your hand over the table like this, and this tends to loosen up your fingers. So you can kind of work to loosen up those fingers and drag your hand onto the table. You could also just flatten out your hand as best as possible straight onto the table. But this is what we want to do. We want to straighten our hand out flat on the table as best as we can, and we're just going to apply some gentle pressure on the top. So just apply pressure to the top of your hand, to the top of your fingers, and we're going to hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds. This is a great stretch just for your hands. You can try to spread out your fingers if that feels nice, or you can keep them together, whatever feels best for you. We're just gonna apply that pressure. All right, now we're going to do the opposite hand. So you can do the same thing on this side and hang it over the table as best as you can and just drag your hand up, or if your hands are curled into kind of this flex position, you can do it yourself and just kind of straighten out your hand as best as possible and place your hand just flat on the table, just as flat as possible. And again, we're just gonna apply pressure to the top of our hand. So just apply pressure to the top of your hand and to the top of your fingers for about, again, 20 to 30 seconds. So we're only going to do this once on each side, but feel free to pause the video here and do this exercise multiple times, or even just replay the video at the end to do this again. You could do this multiple times throughout the day. This is always a great stretch for your fingers. Apply that gentle pressure. All right. That was our first exercise. So now we're going to move on to another exercise that is also great for spasticity. So our next stretch is going to be our external rotation of your shoulder. So again, we tend to be in this position with our arm just in the whole time, or most of the time. So we just kind of want to bring out the arm. So there's multiple ways to do this. So today I'm going to bring it out and I'm going to hold onto the table. So I'm just going to hold into this position. You can even turn a little bit and get a nice stretch in your shoulder up here. You can extend your arm if that feels nice. You can just leave it flexed in this position, and we're just going to open up our chest, and again, we're going to hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds at a time. So again, you can do a little twist if you would like, and just open up that shoulder and that chest muscle, and those arms. If you don't have a table available, I'm going to show you how to use a wall to do this as well, or you could just hold your arm out as best you can to the side. All right, so now that we've done the right side, we're going to do the other. So on this side, I could turn around or maybe use a table or something else on this other side, but I'm just going to use the wall right here. So I'm just going to grab the wall, and I'm just going to extend my arm out, grab the wall, and just slightly twist. So I'm still getting the same stretch on the other side. And you can bring your arm back a little bit if that feels nice. Or just put it out wherever is comfortable for you. You can be a little out in front if you can't get your arm back that far. And just slightly turn. You should feel a nice stretch right in your shoulder and in your chest. And again, hold for about 20 seconds. All right, so that was our second exercise. So now we're gonna move on to our third. So again, we're gonna do another upper body exercise. So this time we're gonna use the towel. So we're gonna use a towel or a belt or really any other kind of band or something that you can use to hold on to, or you can totally just go without. So multiple options for this exercise, but this is just going to be to get some extension, some elbow extension. So we tend to be in this flexed elbow position and this just kind of bent position for our elbow. So we just want to stretch that out. So if necessary, you can just kind of hold the side of your knees and just, hold this position so that your arms are straight rather than bent. So we're just gonna straighten them out. You can grab a towel. So for our exercise for today, we're going to keep our arms as straight as possible, and we're just going to raise up and hold as high as you can with your arms straight. Straight as possible. You can come out on the towel. This may be more comfortable to be kind of out into a V shape, and just kind of come back as far as you can and hold it there. Hold it for about 5 seconds, and then we'll come back down. All right. So that is one option. If your arms begin to bend into this bent position again, then I want you to come back down. That tends to happen as we come up. You might start to bend your elbows a little bit. So I want you to be wherever you can keep your elbows straight as possible. And that might be just right here. in this nice, comfortable position. So we're gonna do this 3 more times. So that was number 2. We're gonna relax, and now we're gonna do it again. So I'm gonna hold the towel and I'm gonna go up slowly, and we're just gonna hold. And this is great for your arms and your back and the sides of your body, just to get a nice stretch in. Make sure to breathe and come down. That was 3. All right, take a breath. And now we're gonna move on to 4. So we're gonna do it again. Go up, and we're gonna hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come down. All right, take a breath. We're gonna do it 1 more time. So if you can only come out to here, that's completely fine. Let's just stay here then, or you can raise up above your head. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. All right, so that was our 3rd exercise. So now we're still going to keep the towel, but we're gonna work on our lower body a little bit. So we're gonna do a hamstring stretch. All right, so next we're gonna be doing a hamstring stretch. So I'm gonna scoot to the edge of my chair, but feel free to sit back as far as you are, as long as you are comfortable. I'm gonna scoot up a little bit, and we're just gonna kick out 1 foot. I'm gonna wrap the towel around my foot. So I'm gonna try to pull my foot up and towards me while I bend over slightly at the hips. So I'm just gonna lean forward, pull the towel so my foot flexes forward, and I'm just gonna hold it here for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then we'll do the other side. Make sure to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Get a nice stretch in. All right, and now we're gonna do the other side the same way. So we're gonna kick out our other foot. I'm gonna wrap the towel around it and pull up so your toes are pointing as close to up as you can. Point them up to the ceiling, and we're just gonna bend slightly forward. Feel a nice stretch in your hamstring and in your calf muscle, which is down here. We're just gonna hold that for, again, 10 to 15 seconds. You can hold it longer if you would like, or shorter if it becomes uncomfortable. We're just gonna try to work up the amount of time that we hold these stretches. So hold it, make sure to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. All right, now that we've completed our hamstring stretch, we're gonna do a hip opener. So completely up to you how you do this. If you can cross your legs up high, do that. But if not, you can just cross your legs at the ankles. And then we're just gonna lean forward a little bit, and you should feel a nice stretch in your back and in those hip muscles. Like I said, you can always cross your legs and lean forward a little bit. Get a nice stretch in those hips. Good. And we'll just hold that for a few seconds and come up. Now we're gonna do the opposite side. So you can cross at the ankles and just lean forward a little bit. And you can be back in your chair, a little forward, whatever's comfortable for you. Just make sure not to lean too far. You don't want your chair to fall forward. That's why you want a sturdy chair. Nice job. Okay, so let's do that 2 more times. We'll cross and lean forward. And lean back. And cross. I'm going to cross at the knee this time. And just lean forward. Feel a nice stretch on the side of your leg and in that hip. Good job. Okay, now we're going to do the other side again. I'm going to cross at the knee. Feel free to cross at the ankle and lean forward. Feel a nice stretch. Hold for a few seconds, however long is comfortable. Sit up. Last one, cross at the ankle. You can scoot back, you can be forward like I said, and we're just going to lean forward. Feel a nice stretch in those hip muscles. And come up. All right, everyone. Well, that was today's stretching routine to help prevent or reduce spasticity. So I hope you enjoy these exercises. I hope you do them at home. Feel free to pause the video at any point to keep stretching or replay the video as many times as possible. Have a great day.